The first pawn we tried after rebalance, and what used to be the entry level for Rotten Blood. This is Jaded Roots. But first, a quick disclaimer. This is focused towards much higher level averages. I have already made a guide that covers how to hunt on a lower level team and have no plans to update it. If anything, the vocation rebalance made the hunts easier than before. With that said, this hunt we have one taint, which makes it possible to swap positions with the maggots, so if the hunt proves too difficult, you can always drop the taint and try it. Now, for general information, the main mechanic of this spawn is the chance of summoning death totems upon creatures dying. Each tick of these totems does 25% of max HP in death damage, and this is still dangerous but less than the lower level hunts. This is due to the constant movement of the pools. Most totems spawn in the middle of nowhere and rarely on top of the EK's box, so it actually felt safer this time around, but could be also the benefits of the vocation rebalance. For wheel recommendations, this is what we were using. Treat these as reference to make your own. For EK, I was using a semi-offensive wheel for one-handers, getting buffs on Exory and Exory both proved to be the most useful for doing damage on large pools, but also open up space in the box to leave early, and tier 3 amp core for the runaway, plus having a buff on Man-Maggot to use when totems spawn. Sorcerer meta is all around being mastery tier 3, so the usage of gems with points for it is his priority. Additionally, with using the energy stance and buffs for energy wave and a rotation of beam, wave, echo. Paladin goes for buffs towards holy damage, prioritizing the barrage and getting ballistic mastery. Grenade was mostly used when coming in with a lure, and more notably was the benefit of getting the buffs for amp res, which were absolutely necessary for this type of hunt. Druid goes with a full upgrade on Twin Burst and Ice Wave, with Healing Link for self-healing, and mainly rotating the seals on whoever needs it. Damage taken is mainly physical, followed by earth and a bit of fire on EKs and RPs, but much more on mages. For praise, the kill distribution is very even for beetles and Osins, and maggots as a third option. For charms, use this. With that said, let's start with the lab. It starts here by the north, but when starting from the beginning, we will do one around these stairs first and then pop the boost after that. When doing the lab normally, you will come from the south path and EK won't stop here. Rather grab the creatures and start luring them to the right. Meanwhile, shooters are clearing the backside and join you on the way. The stopping point is by the east. Here the paladin will help with a few attack turns and then leave, because while we are doing this pool, RP will be luring creatures from the hole towards the boss, and the timing to leave this pool is when 8 creatures or so are left. The goal as the EK is to cross to the south before the paladin shows up. Mages will meet him while clearing the backline and start kiting the pool together. During this time, EK runs ahead and into this path to the middle and grab creatures by the entrance, and take them out backwards to this pool on the east. Be aware that it does get dangerous on the way there for the shooters, and if needed, you can skip the RP lure. By the time EK gets there, the rest of the team is starting to get there as well, and then it's one massive pool here. Next up, EK leads first and towards this corner side to bring creatures out. Rest of the group slowly kite the creatures forward, then meet up by the middle of this southeast area, making another big pool, which is not as dangerous due to the amount of space to move. When room opens up from the box, I tend to leave, because I need to lure creatures from this path towards the middle, and the rest of the team will be kiting the creatures down. We make a brief stop here to do a few attack turns grouped together, and then again EK goes ahead to lure from this corner. Try to not box yourself and leave very early, this time to lure the creatures out from this path. You will be meeting with the rest of the team, but rather than stopping, you continue moving forward to this area. No need to run ahead yet, just attack with runes and exorting mass a bit, and then speed up towards the spot here, once again making a massive pull. Stay around for like 2 full spell rotations and then leave to the north. Optionally, you can have the sorcerer peek to the northeast towards the mushroom corner to add more creatures, but it makes this far more dangerous and we find it better to save them for the next pull instead, which in this case, the paladin will end up luring. Meanwhile, EK goes far north to this area before the void and lure the creatures down. Then coming up next, EK go ahead to this spot and lure as many creatures as possible. It takes a bit of time because of the 2 ways, but during this, the team will be kiting the creatures from the previous pool. We make a stop here to clear most of the creatures and then run into the middle. I like this spot to the south of the stairs because later on it will leave some room for people to do a wide lap and bring creatures out of the paths. And once 8 creatures or so are alive, then start moving towards the next pool to the northeast. This one is best to get low enough before leaving, because this time around the team doesn't lure them, rather stay behind kiting until they die and then speed up to catch up to the EK. and with that you're back at the start of the lap. Hunting like this, we were doing over 26 to 28 kk raw in average, but this was early on the vocation rebalance update. Shortly after came a nerf that lowered team hunting XP for about 10%. We had already moved on spawns by then, so I don't have the up-to-date experience, but it should be somewhere around the 24 to 25 kk in average for us, with a profit of around the 10 kk an hour with creature products at 1. Keep in mind for this spawn, the Rotten Vermin Ichor and Blooded Maggots are the most valuable drops, with the Vermin being somewhat rare, hence why they tend to be the most expensive from here. And that's all I got for this video. More Rotten Blood guides will be coming up, so consider subscribing if you liked the video. Thank you for watching, and until the next one.